glimpse into my life. I did a little time lapse. Shouldn't say little, long time lapse. I did a time lapse of my day at work today. I've been on the trying to buy a pair of decent headphones, and I am so fed up with it. I've tried 5 different pair of over-the-ear, and I'm just not happy with any of them, especially for the price. I've tried everything from the cheap Sony. I even tried the Beats, and the Beats by far were the worst pair for comfort I found. The set of Bose True Sound that I'm taking back today, I'm just gonna give up on the journey for it. Were by far probably the best fitting pair. I could wear them for about 3 hours before they really started kind of irritating me. So I want something that I can wear for an extended period at work, you know, while I'm listening to the radio and working. So I guess I'm just gonna stick with my Samsung earbuds that I got with my Galaxy S5. The newer Samsung earbuds that they just started putting in with the Galaxy S6, they suck. I mean, I'll use them in a pinch, but they're just not comfortable. They don't fit. I don't feel they fit the ear decently. And they don't sound too bad, but I just don't like the way they fit in my ear. On 2 wheels, a little mumble. I'm a few behind. I haven't been watching them on their live event, but I was watching their other, and they were talking about lane splitting. I do agree to a point. I don't mind and don't see an issue with lane splitting, except when the lane splitting puts themselves in danger. You know, I've watched a lot of videos where these guys are just ripping through traffic at an unsafe speed, lane splitting. That's not safe. That's not safe for people. People get nervous seeing them come up, and you know, that aren't used to it, and it's more dangerous, I think, in some aspects to everybody involved. I mean, they don't see somebody going to make a turn and they're, you know, lane splitting at a high rate of speed. That's not safe. If it can be done safe, I'm all for it. When it's not safe to do it, then yeah, no, I don't feel people should be lane splitting. But if there's, you know, when you're in town in an area, I agree. It's hard to see taillights on cycles all the time, and the more you can do to be seen. One of the other reasons that I stayed with scooters so long is my dad was in his late 60s and he could not really throw his leg up over a motorcycle, where over the tunnel so he could get his leg up over that for riding, and he enjoyed riding. When I grew up as a kid, my mom had always put her foot down that she would never allow a motorcycle or anything like that. It actually started because my uncle always rode motorcycles, my youngest uncle, and my uncle had a prototype motorcycle, at least that's what I was told, some sort of prototype, and he was together and got together with my mom and dad, and my dad finally talked my mom into getting onto this motorcycle with him, and he took her for a ride, and they turned a corner and he gunned it going down the hill, and it was all fresh paved pea gravel road, and he dumped the bike. Well, when he dumped it, he slid down the hill on top of my mom, and it pretty much made hamburger out of her arm pretty bad. She was picking pea gravel and tar out of her arm for a few weeks, and that pretty much put the end to my dad ever getting a motorcycle while my mom was alive. When she passed away in 2005, my dad started looking. That's when he bought his 50cc scooter, and that was his way of getting into motorcycle. And it was right after, probably about 6 months after that, I bought a used 125cc scooter. And then about a year later, I think it was about 2006 when he bought that. So it was 2006 when I bought the 125. And probably 2 years later, he had that about 2 years. In town where I live, there was a guy that worked at one of the at Vitesnik's where I bought my motorcycle. He was one of the managers. He had bought this Linhai for his wife to ride, and she just didn't ride it that much, so he was selling it. And he had it sitting out there, and took pictures of it, sent it to my dad, took a ride on it, and my dad come down and he bought that Linhai. So the Linhai he actually owned. I now have that. He sold his 50, I sold my 125, and I bought my 250. Yeah. We ended up trading off. My John Way was quite a bit lighter than the Linhai, so it was a lot easier for my dad to put on the stand and get off the stand and stuff like that by himself. So he went to riding that one, and I went to riding the Linhai because it was probably almost 100 pounds heavier than his scooter. It's actually built pretty well. I actually just last year, after I bought my cycle, I sold the John Way, and I've been looking at possibly selling that. So, at any rate, it wasn't until after my mom died that my dad bought that scooter. And I've always wanted a motorcycle, and growing up, it was basically my mom over my dead body, and that's pretty much what it ended up being. And I didn't buy a cycle until after my mom passed away.